Yes and no is the answer to the title of this video and the question in the thumbnail. I will be going over why celebrity activism can be helpful, why their motivation and connection to a cause matters, and lastly, our expectations when it comes down to high-profile people in regards to their humanitarian efforts. What's up everybody, my name is Shantoria, welcome to the video, and I pray you all are doing well. I make videos about music and entertainment, mostly about music, but if you enjoy content like this, be sure to subscribe. I've never felt more motivated nor connected to a video topic so far on my channel as much as this one. I relate to this so deeply as a person who used to be so deep into fandoms, and you know, there's nothing, I gotta say it. And you know, it's because parasocial relationships are so real. Whatever it is you may like, admire, or enjoy about a person, it incentivizes you to watch their films, listen to their music, stay up to date on their latest projects, and buy their products. We find ourselves forming connections to people who share selective things about themselves, and from this connection, there is a certain level of expectation that these celebrities are recently not meeting. You know, the dosage of the Lulu they have been giving us common folk has not been cutting it, and we actually see a slow shift in the view of celebrity. But before I get into all of that, let's talk about why celebrity activism can be helpful. Celebrities have the ability to connect to the audience in ways that politicians cannot. I remember during the 2020 elections, I believe, that there was so many celebrities encouraging people to vote, especially Taylor Swift and Ariana Grande. Ariana actually had stands at her different concert venues for fans to register to vote. And it wasn't even that long ago, if entertainers wanted to share their support for a cause, they actually had to show up in the streets and make their stances known. You know, there was no halfway doing it like how you can today with just a post on Instagram. And the narrative for a long time for celebrities was controlled by the media through TV, news outlets, magazines. So it was even more important for them to make their stances clear and known. And when I say this, I think of when Elvis Presley performed his song If I Can Dream for his NBC TV special after hearing about the death of Martin Luther King Jr. I don't know how many of y'all are an Elvis Presley fan, because I am. I don't know how much Elvis media you all have watched or know of, but at least in the 2020 Elvis biopic, the scene of this taking place, it is shown and depicted that Elvis performed this song against the wishes of the NBC producers. And I want to believe that this is true. The only people who would know if it's true is the people during that time. Elvis is another one of those artists that we know of that has benefited from Black culture, profited off of Black culture, and I pray and hope, or at least I'm pretty sure I know it. Maybe I feel like I want to know that he was an ally, you know, from the media that I've seen. A celebrity is more than likely to have the trust of the people, which helps the people support certain government initiatives and also helps Congress fund said initiatives. One example of this is Michael J. Fox, who was diagnosed with Parkinson's disease in 1991 and started the Michael J. Fox Foundation in 2001. Fox testified before Congress about his experience with the disease and was able to increase research funding by $275 US. A more recent example of this is Selena Gomez going to the White House to speak on ways for mental health resources to be more accessible. Selena also launched Wondermind, which is a mental health organization that focuses on connecting people to resources. I want to do a somewhat honorable mention of Kim Kardashian. Kim has advocated for the clemency of 31 people who were facing life in prison for non-violent crimes. She even had a show about this that I did not know ever existed, and I won't be watching because I don't and won't support any Kardashian-Jenner venture due to their consistency in rage bait marketing tactics, shady business practices, and their conscious and unconscious effect on toxic beauty standards for women. Kim did not need to use Alice Marie Johnson's beautiful testimonial in a campaign to sell Skims. I've read many articles that Kim has helped many of the individuals beyond working to regain their freedom, and the show does give those individuals to have a platform to share their stories, to be seen, to be heard, and I cannot take away the generosity of the situation nor not acknowledge it. It's just frustrating to have to approach every Kardashian-Jenner project, humanitarian effort, or business venture with what's the ulterior motive. This also was around the same time Kim was posting about pursuing a law degree, and she recently has put a pin in that in pursuit of her other work endeavors. And funny enough, I didn't know this, that she failed the baby bar 3 times, but has passed it, so good for her. And also, I want to give 2 hand claps for Kim for at least continuing her advocacy after the hype surrounding her efforts went away. And actually recently this year in 2024, Kim has met with Vice President Kamala Harris at the White House to discuss issue pardons for 11 people. The Vice President also announced the finalization of a new rule removing restrictions on loans through the Small Business Administration based on a person's criminal record, which I find to be amazing because no one should be bound by their past mistakes if they genuinely want to make an effort to do and be better. And the rehabilitation process in prisons is also something to be advocating for change. So I'm happy about that. And as much as I am happy that Kim is passionate about prison reform and her efforts towards it, her continuous efforts towards it is great, I feel like I can't root for her. Just when the Kardashians make one step forward, they take like 15 steps back. And I say this in regards to her continued ambassadorship of the horrendous brand, now in my eyes, Balenciaga. And that campaign reminded me of Brooke Shields doing the Calvin Klein jeans ad back in the day. And the child exploitation of it is just so icky to me. And I wonder how... I'm genuinely curious as to what incentivized her to continue that partnership, to continue her ambassadorship. What was in the contract? What was in that contract? What was her motivations to stay an ambassador of this brand? Which is why a celebrity's connection and motivation for a cause matters. Hey guys, sorry for the jump scare. I know my hair looks different, my voice is a little bit hoarse, and I am reshooting this part because I had accidentally deleted it. So I apologize if it kind of threw you off. I feel like the most radical thing a celebrity has done so far in the 21st century is former San Francisco's 49er quarterback Colin Kaepernick taking a knee during the national anthem as a sign of peaceful protest against police brutality and racial discrimination. And I remember many specific type of Americans being very upset with this, as well as the bigwigs at the NFL and former President Donald Trump. And there are many other players that have knelt and raised fists in solidarity with Colin, but he was the face of the movement. The NFL has wanted him out and has kept him out ever since. By November 2017, both Colin Kaepernick and fellow team member Eric Reid filed a grievance against the NFL, accusing the league and NFL team owners of collusion to effectively ban Kaepernick and other players who took part in political protests on the field and permanently keep them out of the league. Kaepernick and Reid's case against the NFL was actually set to go to trial, but on February 15, 2019, it was announced that both players had reached a confidential settlement with the NFL and withdrew their collusion case against the league. The exact number of the settlement is still unknown due to a strict non-disclosure agreement between the players and the NFL. Nike collaborated with Kaepernick on a campaign about, standing up for what you believe in and being bold and being courageous. And for Nike to do this was a very radical thing because not many brands wanted to associate themselves with Kaepernick in fear of losing their business. What's funny is that Nike stocks actually went up after this. Also, this was a time when people were throwing away their Nike apparel, which I thought was crazy because why wouldn't you just donate it? Someone would want it. I would want it. 3 years after this, the NFL formally announced that Jay-Z and his company Roc Nation will be consultants and help advise picking artists for major events like the Super Bowl. The NFL also announced that Roc Nation would play a pivotal role in their collaborative efforts between the NFL and the Players Coalition, the Inspire Change Initiative. And after reading this, I felt like this was a very opportunistic incorporative move on Jay-Z's part, on both parties actually. And I will say this, I am not familiar with Jay-Z as an artist, any of his work in or outside of music, to say that I am surprised or not surprised by this. And what's even crazier is that I didn't even know that this happened at all. I remember when Apple Music took over the halftime show, but now that I know this information, the artists that performed since Apple took over instead of Pepsi, it makes sense. Rihanna and Usher are artists that have connections or have formerly worked with Jay-Z in some way. And with these major events like the halftime show, artists have taken the opportunity to make a political statement and or show their support for different initiatives and spread awareness. And one of my favorite performances in regards to the halftime show was Shakira and J-Lo's performance in making a statement about the border crisis, the children being locked up in cages and being separated from their families. That's horrible. Just say, that's horrible. Even when artists plan to make a statement at an award show and protest to spread awareness about anything that they are passionate about, they have to take into consideration as well that this cause can be and possibly closely linked to their brand, i.e. Colin Kaepernick. And think about Lizzo, who is currently in a legal battle with her former backup dancers. Lizzo has been known for body positivity and having such inclusive body shapes and sizes on stage. And now here are these other allegations coming out that she is the opposite of that. And so artists have to take into consideration and really be careful with whatever they say and do, because it can affect their business, it could affect their brand, it could affect them being able to continue to pursue or work in the field that they love so much. In the unique case of Ariana Grande and what happened at her Manchester concert, it not only affected the concert going experience, but the live entertainment industry as a whole. It was great to see fans and musicians quickly come together to not only raise funds, but to acknowledge and remember the lives affected by this tragedy. This goes to show that with enough passion and proper motivation, celebrities can move each other and supporters to stand in unity for a cause. And like I mentioned at the beginning of this video in the intro, that I mostly talk about music, so of course my examples are going to be about musicians, but this is also could be the same for actors on accepting an award on stage. So why isn't this enough? What else do we expect from celebrities? Celebrities have been called tone deaf more often ever since 2020, and the Met Gala this year of 2024 was the launching pad of the blackout movement, which I feel like came as quickly as it left. If you don't know what the blackout movement is or was, I don't know if it's still happening or if people are still doing this, participating in this, but people were unfollowing celebrities and influencers that have yet to have spoken about the recent events that are happening in Congo, Sudan, and between Palestine and Israel. The war in Ukraine is still ongoing. The world is experiencing or dealing with high inflation, and struggling is really saying the least during these times, and it doesn't seem like the celebrities, the more wealthy, are really being affected by this. Many were saying that this event felt so dystopian. There are pro-Palestine protesters 2 blocks away, and they're trying to make their way to the event, but were held back by police. And knowing that the ticket to attend the Met Gala was $75,000 just for a singular person, and $350,000, I believe, for a table, many were saying that, it did not help. There were some people even referring to the celebrities that attended the event as the Capitol, and I'm guessing because of how flamboyant the event tends to be. And I want to believe that there was someone there, at least 1 or 2 celebrities that wanted to make awareness some way, somehow, but just weren't able to figure it out. Or maybe the Met Gala has a policy against bringing political issues into the event. I want to give them the benefit of the doubt, but it's not like they couldn't if they wanted to. You know what I mean? If they wanted to, they would. And there was an actress, I don't remember her name, but she attended the Cannes Film Festival this year and had the Palestine flag underneath her dress. I believe it was like the train of her dress. And so that was a smart way to do it, because I don't think the actors actually were able to make any form of statement on the carpet. I also find it to be an issue that the more flamboyant and dress up aspect of the Met Gala overshadows the charity aspect of it, because it is a charity event. Do these celebrities have to dress up in order to care about preserving historical garments? And and I say this thing about a certain celebrity wearing a historical garment and permanently damaging it, wearing it to an event about preserving historical garments. It's me again. I also want to add that I find it so odd that they don't promote the fact that you can visit this museum and see the exhibit, and I would like to see it, and I also would find it better if they put more focus on the actual exhibits. There is a video up, I think maybe on YouTube. I'll put here on the screen where you can actually watch the video, but I find that odd that they don't promote the exhibit itself and encouraging people to go visit this museum and learn the history and why it is important to have these different garments and learn about how clothing is made and why they made certain things the way that they did and the cultural background behind it. It's all very important in learning. And I don't, as cool as it is to see what celebrities are wearing, I find the historical background of clothing more interesting, if I'm being honest. And if it takes them dressing up to care about preserving history, I find that to be an issue. And this is my second time filming this, and I say this because I wanted to condense what I previously have said, hopefully, into 2 main points. Because like I had mentioned in the beginning of this video, I connect very deeply to this. I used to be so deep into the world of celebrity and deep into fandoms. If you're a part of the app Backstage, I was there. Being a fan, a huge fan of somebody, it could be so consuming of your life. And when I decided to kind of back away from it and actually focus on my own life, I realized how much time and effort I was spending trying to figure out what these people are doing and what places are they at and what do they eat. You know what I mean? Like, it's weird and it's strange and it's very toxic. Like I said, parasocial relationships, that weird bond that you feel like you have with this person, it does not exist. It is very much one-sided, and like I said, I feel this very deeply. I cannot stress to you enough how toxic this is and how much this really has aided in people's disappointment with celebrities in regards to what is currently happening and them not spreading awareness about it. Which leads me to my first point about people's parasocial relationships with celebrities. People follow their favorite players to different teams. My grandmother used to call the LA Lakers the LeBrons. I'm pretty sure you can tell who she was a fan of, but she also loves Steph Curry. And when it comes to actors, you only watch a specific movie because said actor is in it. I don't know about you, but if I'm trying to find an action movie to watch and I see that it has Bruce Willis in it, I am watching it instantly. And then I get so mad when he's not the main character. And a celebrity's longevity is based on their ability to connect with an audience. These entertainers have a place in our special memories with our family members that give us hope and help us get through hard times. And this makes me think of actors going as their superheroes to visit children in hospitals, musicians also visiting other fans in hospitals as well. And I want to emphasize that it is the works of these people that we grow such strong bonds and attachments with. Though yes, we do make connections to them, whether it is their cultural background, their beliefs, even events that they have gone through, it can be very comforting to us. You feel like you know enough about this person that they could potentially be your friend, and in some people's minds, they are their friend. And it doesn't help that artists and even influencers egg this on by saying how much they love and appreciate them and they feel like they're your friends, and even saying the famous line of, if you know me then ... before saying whatever fact it is about them. I cannot stand that, because I do not care how much you say about yourself. I don't really know you. I don't feel like I genuinely know you unless I spent time around you physically. And we all know how dangerous that can be and how it has been. You know, many celebrities have lost their lives, have potentially lost their lives, have been robbed. If you have not seen the Netflix series, I believe it's a docuseries on Netflix called The Bling Ring, watch it if you heard of it. And the bling ring just highlights the toxic nature of the rich in entertainment needing to show off their wealth, needing to curate this fantasy for others to aspire to be like, to be a part of. And most people will never accumulate that success, but hey, some people, at least in today's day and age, will do whatever it takes to fake it till they make it online. It really has become easier with social media, which makes parasocial relationships so unique because fans will purchase whatever it is that their favorite celebrity has used or is selling in order to get some form of taste, some form of glimpse, some form of, I guess, to not miss out on the FOMO, their fear of missing out, being a part of it, being close to the celebrity because they feel like they aided, helped in their success, helped, you know, if when their favorite achieves something great, they achieve something great. The celebrity makes it seem like it is a group effort whenever they achieve something, and it's weird. It's weird. They will get cosmetic surgery to look more like them. There are fan pages dedicated to these people to stay up to date on what they have achieved. People create whole careers impersonating other celebrities. So it is very much safe to say that these people have a unique place in society. And these celebrities know of their fans' parasocial devotion to them because they have used it to harass others. Well, not necessarily directly harass them, but you know, they say certain things that get people worked up to then go harass others. They know what they're doing, as well as trying to get their fans to fake streams and even sell out their products. Because fans have supported the lavish lifestyle of these celebrities who are apparently so appreciative, you know, there has been this expectation that they would give back to the community that have been supporting them, but that has not always been the case. I watched a video titled Celebrities, Wealth, and Giving Back from the Modern Nonprofit Podcast, and they had on the president and CEO of the Giving Back Fund, Mark Pollock. Mr. Pollock shared some information that shocked me, but may or may not shock you as well.
The thought that I had is that if a celebrity wanted to do good in the world and they wanted to start a foundation and they were wealthy and they cared about something, that of course they were going to fund it. Why would you care about something and have a lot of money and not fund it? Well, to my great surprise, I found out that the vast majority of celebrities who want to start foundations and want to do something do not fund it with their own money. And that percentage is very high. It's about 97%.
Wow.
97% of all celebrities do not fund their own foundations with their own name on it, with their own money. And you might say, why is that? And the answer is because in America, celebrities get almost everything for free. We've built a culture in America where celebrities often don't have to pay for things. And when they come to philanthropy, they realize that they can leverage their name, if they're famous, to get their fan base and others and corporate America to put money into a cause that they care about. We mentioned just off the air, Michael J. Fox and his Parkinson's Foundation. And so because he's so beloved, millions of people contribute to that foundation because they know who he is. Well, unfortunately, the vast majority of celebrities say, well, if I can get other people to give, then I don't have to. Now, the problem with that, and you might say, well, as long as somebody's giving and people are benefiting, what's the difference? And the problem with that is transparency and authenticity. That a celebrity would never say to you, listen, I would love for you to give to my foundation. I care about it so much and the cause is so important to me. I just want you to know that I'm not giving. I'm wealthy, but I'm not giving, but you should give. How would that be as a pitch? You would not give to that foundation. You would say, you're wealthier than I am and you're not giving. But they don't say that. The vast majority, 97%, don't say that. They simply hang a shingle and say, I'm starting the X, Y, and Z Foundation. I'm not going to call out names, but I could, but I won't do that. And the public will give because they love that celebrity. If you're going to start, I'm not the philanthropy police. You don't have to give. You don't have to do a foundation. But if you're going to start one and you're wealthy and you care about, whatever the mission is, then you should give some of your own money. And when they weren't, that was a real eye-opener for me.
And after hearing this, I felt so saddened and bothered by this, especially considering that learning through this process of researching for this video about how many celebrities have started their own organization. And I couldn't help but think, what's the need? Like, I started to grow confused. Like, what's the need of you starting your own organization other than the fact for branding, because there's thousands of organizations that these celebrities could donate to. They don't need their own. And this video was uploaded in 2021, so it's not that recent, but it's close enough in proximity to 2024 that maybe this number has hopefully seen an influx, an increase in those donating, maybe to 4% instead of 3%. Which leads me to my final point. Times like these when no celebrity is saying anything has helped people realize that these celebrities are no better than us. If you are selfish with a little, you'll be selfish with a lot. If you're giving with a little, you'll be giving with a lot. You do not need financial wealth in order to be a cold person. And I'm happy that there are some that choose to spread awareness, that have spoken about the tragedies that are recently happening. And I can only think of very few at the top of my head right now that have, like Katy Perry and Orlando Bloom. I think Orlando recently went to the DR in Congo. I've seen Jenna Ortega post about it in her stories, as well as made an official post about it. Kalani called out many people in the industry for not saying anything. Huda from Huda Beauty has been very vocal about the tragedies in Palestine and Rafah. And so it's very dystopian to me, especially considering that I know that there are very many outspoken celebrities, at least that I follow, that it's odd to not see them post about it. I know of them to be very vocal and passionate people. And, I also don't want to water down the ones that have still continued to spread awareness about different causes, even though it is not in regards to the events that I've spoken about, like the Palestine, Congo, and Sudan. And like I said, I'm happy that there are still those wanting to spread awareness, that are donating to different organizations, wanting to educate their fans and followers on social media about different causes. One being Olivia Rodrigo, who has been donating to different organizations throughout her Guts World Tour. And also, didn't she get into like some hot water for like having birth control plans or something, plan B or something like that? Like she had that at her concert venue. I'm like, that was very bold of her, and I respect it. There are many entertainers of the past and of today who are equally as well known for their talents as they are for using their platform to advocate for change and to spread awareness. One of the most famous protest songs is War by Edwin Starr in regards to the Vietnam War, which I recall being spoken about in the Apple TV Plus docuseries 1971, The Year That Music Changed Forever. Such a great series. A lot happened in that single year, and I highly recommend it if you enjoy learning about music history. I just feel like in today's climate, there is more of an incentive to be performative because of how reactive the internet tends to be and the financial opportunities you can gain from it. And them not realizing the irony of the Met Gala theme to the struggles at the moment is very troubling. The topic of war can be political and is divisive, so I understand the hesitation or not wanting to speak at all. It's the not acknowledging of the other realities in this world and the horrors of war that have people upset. And what I like about the blockout movement is that it shows how aware fans are about the responsibilities that come with having a large platform that has an equally, if not more, of an influence. Though I do understand and feel a level of frustration, there is another side to this that we also have to acknowledge. I don't like the idea of pressuring people to say, do, or post about something will reap positive results. You don't know how you would allocate your funds, nor how you would change or be in their position. Being talked about day and night, 24/7 for what you say and don't say, do and don't do will have you moving differently. Not everything in this world you will feel moved or compelled to talk about, nor donate money or resources to. Not every topic people will feel comfortable talking about, and maybe keeping their philanthropy and activism separate from their main jobs, though it is likely to peek through in some projects. Unless it is one of their own charities, they shouldn't have to tell us whether or not they gave anything at all in order for us to donate. Though I do understand who and how the message is delivered does affect how it will be received. Also, you want people talking about things that they are passionate about, because then I think you start to see a little bit more movement happening in that area. You know, like I've noted earlier about Kim being passionate about, prison reform. We're starting to see a little bit more movement happening in that area. Post about whatever you're passionate about. Follow whoever aligns with your values, unfollow those who do not. And whether or not a celebrity and influencer is genuine about their efforts and whatever it is they choose to spread awareness is between them and God. You know, the entertainers that we see today were fed the same dream that we were, as well as those before them. They are also victims of the system that they thought would make their dreams come true. You know, we've seen The Quiet on Set. We read the memoirs. There's so many documentaries about this. So many of these entertainers coming out and speaking up about this. You know, they were sold the same thing that we were. They are human, and I say human with air quotes because they want to be seen like us, like just like us, which they are, but still want to profit off of the illusion that this bubble that they are within. And I always find it so weird. And really, it is these corporations that are selling us this fantasy of the dream of the lifestyle, not just celebrity lifestyles, but even a glorious lifestyle, the day-to-day lifestyles that we all common folk experience. And there's also this unsettling side to the conversation where there have been celebrities and alleged ones who have used their platform and influence to support different organizations and industries that have negatively impacted people directly and indirectly. And what I love about the blockout movement is that it reminds consumers that they have the viewing, the purchasing, and voting power to bring about change. Yes, these celebrities do play their part in influencing us on what to like and who to vote for and the things that we're insecure about, honestly. It is these corporations
that funds research influencing spending habits
and these politicians who are voted into their positions who bring about the change that impact all of our lives. What creating this video has taught me is that every voice matters, no matter if you have 10 followers, 10,000, or 10 million. Your voice matters. We don't need to put anyone on a pedestal for being a decent human being, and if they are the monster, just let them know. Because a charitable act is not about the person who is giving. It is about the person or people that it's help changing lives for. And the blessing is in being able to give at all. So I really would love to hear your thoughts on celebrity activism and even the world of parasocial relationships. How has it affected you and your view of celebrities? Please let me know down in the comments below. Be nice to each other. Be nice to me. But I pray you all have a blessed rest of your day and an awesome rest of your week. Peace out.